Welcome to G Fun Facts Online. In the vast blue heart of our planet, a timeless drama is constantly playing out. It's the intricate dance between hunter and hunted, a fundamental force that shapes the health and structure of our oceans. This is far more than a simple chase. It's a complex web of interactions that ripples through every level of marine life, driving evolution and maintaining the incredible biodiversity of the seas. Let's dive in. At the heart of any marine ecosystem is the food web, which is basically a network of who eats whom. Think of it like a pyramid with different levels, which scientists call trophic levels. At the very bottom are the producers, mostly microscopic phytoplankton, that turn sunlight into energy. They are the grass of the sea. Then you have the primary consumers, the herbivores, that munch on this phytoplankton. And above them are the secondary and tertiary consumers, the carnivores. Predators, sitting at these higher levels, are the ecosystem's managers. They control the populations of their prey, preventing any single species from taking over and monopolizing all the resources. This control is vital for stability and biodiversity. Some predators are so important, they're called keystone species. This term was coined by ecologist Robert Payne back in the 1960s. A keystone species is one whose impact on its environment is massive, far greater than you'd expect from its numbers. Remove it, and the whole ecosystem can collapse. The classic example is the sea otter. These mammals love to eat sea urchins. Where otters thrive, they keep urchin numbers in check, which allows lush kelp forests to flourish. These kelp forests are critical habitats, like underwater apartment buildings, for countless other species. But when sea otters were hunted almost to extinction in the 19th century, the sea urchin populations exploded. With no predators, they grazed uncontrollably, mowing down the kelp forests and turning these vibrant ecosystems into barren, underwater deserts. This had a cascading effect, causing a massive drop in biodiversity. Another great example is the ochre sea star on the Pacific coast of North America. It preys on mussels. When Robert Payne experimentally removed these starfish from an area, the mussels quickly took over all the space on the rocks, crowding out other species and dramatically reducing the area's biodiversity. This simple experiment was the first to prove just how powerful a single predator can be. The effects of predators go even further than their immediate prey. Removing a top predator can trigger what's called a trophic cascade, a series of indirect effects that ripple all the way down the food web with profound and often surprising consequences. One of the most famous examples of a trophic cascade happened in the kelp forests of Alaska. When commercial whaling drastically reduced the populations of great whales, killer whales, which sometimes preyed on whale calves, had to switch their diet. They started hunting sea otters much more frequently. This new pressure caused sea otter numbers to plummet. With fewer otters, the sea urchin population boomed. And as we just learned, booming urchin populations led to the overgrazing and destruction of the kelp forests. The loss of these forests was devastating for the many species that relied on them for food and shelter. This complex chain reaction shows just how interconnected everything is. And it's not just in kelp forests. In the Northwest Atlantic, the overfishing of Atlantic cod and other large predatory fish in the 80s and 90s led to an explosion in their prey, like shrimp and crabs. This, in turn, completely altered the zooplankton community, showing how a human activity like fishing can kickstart a massive trophic cascade. The predator-prey relationship is also a powerful engine of evolution, driving a perpetual arms race. As prey evolve better defenses, predators must evolve better hunting strategies. This back and forth has produced an incredible array of adaptations. Let's look at the predator's arsenal first. Many have superior senses. Sharks, for example, have an incredible sense of smell and can also detect the tiny electrical fields from a fish's muscle contractions using special organs called ampullae of Lorenzini. Dolphins and toothed whales use echolocation, a biological sonar, to find prey in total darkness. Then there's speed. Pursuit predators like tuna and marlin have perfectly streamlined bodies and powerful muscles that let them hit incredible speeds to chase down fast prey. Ambush predators, on the other hand, rely on stealth. The scorpionfish and stonefish are masters of camouflage, blending in perfectly with their surroundings to surprise their victims. The frogfish even has a fleshy lure on its head that it wiggles to mimic a small worm, attracting prey right to its giant mouth. Some predators even hunt together. Orcas and dolphins use complex, coordinated strategies to herd and trap their prey. Big-eye trevallies will form hunting schools to patrol coral reefs, surrounding and confusing smaller fish. And of course, there's specialized weaponry, from the shell-crushing jaws of a tiger shark to the venomous tentacles of a jellyfish. But prey are not helpless. They've evolved an equally impressive set of defenses. The most common is avoiding detection. Many species, like the leafy sea dragon, have developed elaborate bodies and colors that mimic their environment. Many fish and sharks use countershading, dark on top and light on the bottom, to blend in with the light from above and the darkness from below. Some prey advertise their danger. This is called aposematic coloration. The vibrant colors of a nudibranch, or sea slug, serve as a warning sign to predators that it's toxic. They get these toxins from the sponges they eat and store them for their own defense. Other defenses are more direct. Hard shells, like a sea turtle's, and sharp spines, like on a pufferfish, provide physical protection. Schooling behavior in fish is another key defense. The sheer number of individuals can confuse a predator, making it hard to single out one target. And finally, there's escape. Flying fish have taken this to an extreme, evolving the ability to launch themselves out of the water and glide through the air to escape underwater threats. These dynamics change dramatically depending on the habitat. Coral reefs are like bustling cities, with apex predators like sharks and groupers acting as the police, keeping smaller fish populations in check. This indirectly protects the herbivores that graze on algae, preventing it from smothering the coral that builds the city itself. The open ocean, or pelagic zone, is a vast, three-dimensional space with almost nowhere to hide. Here, it's all about speed and endurance. Large predators like tuna and sharks travel huge distances, searching for schools of smaller fish. Recent research has shown they often congregate in large, swirling ocean eddies that trap and concentrate prey, creating feeding hotspots in the otherwise empty expanse. The deep sea is a world of perpetual darkness, immense pressure, and scarce food. Here, you find bizarre adaptations. The anglerfish is a classic example, using a bioluminescent lure to attract prey to its waiting jaws in the dark. The gulper eel has an enormous mouth that allows it to swallow prey much larger than itself, a crucial skill when meals are rare. In the frigid polar seas, life is lived on the edge, intricately linked to sea ice. In the Arctic, the polar bear is the apex predator, using sea ice as a platform to hunt seals. In the Antarctic, the entire food web revolves around one tiny creature, krill. These small crustaceans are the primary food source for almost everything, from penguins to seals to the largest whales on Earth. For millennia, this delicate balance was shaped by natural forces. But now, a new force is tipping the scales: humanity. Overfishing is one of the biggest threats. The removal of top predators like sharks and tuna, either intentionally or as bycatch, has devastating consequences. It can lead to trophic downgrading, where the food web becomes dominated by smaller species, making the whole ecosystem less resilient. And as we fish out the big predators, fisheries often move down the food web, targeting smaller and smaller species, which further simplifies and destabilizes the ecosystem. Climate change is a double whammy. Ocean warming causes species to shift their ranges, creating a mismatch between where predators are and where their food is. At the same time, ocean acidification, caused by the ocean absorbing CO2, makes it harder for organisms like corals, shellfish, and tiny plankton called pteropods to build their shells. The decline of pteropods, which are a vital food source at the base of the food web, could cause a collapse that affects everything from salmon to whales. Then there's pollution. Plastic debris can entangle and kill animals. Chemical pollutants accumulate up the food web in a process called biomagnification. This means top predators like dolphins and sharks end up with the highest concentrations of toxins, which can cause severe health problems. And finally, habitat destruction. Coastal development and destructive fishing practices are wiping out critical habitats like coral reefs, mangroves, and seagrass beds. These are the nurseries, shelters, and feeding grounds for countless species. Losing them is like bulldozing the entire support system for marine life. The challenges are immense, but there is hope. One of the most effective tools we have is marine protected areas, or MPAs. These are like national parks for the ocean, where human activities are restricted. Well-managed MPAs allow fish populations to recover and help restore the natural balance of the food web. We also need to shift to sustainable fisheries management. This means setting scientific catch limits, reducing bycatch with smarter gear, and fighting illegal fishing. An ecosystem-based approach, which considers the entire food web, is crucial. But ultimately, protecting our oceans requires a global effort to address the root causes: climate change and pollution. This means reducing fossil fuel emissions and stopping the flow of plastic and other pollutants into our seas. The intricate dance of predator and prey is the lifeblood of our oceans. This delicate balance, honed over millions of years, is now being pushed to its limit. By understanding these vital connections and taking bold action to protect them, we can help ensure the future of our blue planet. Thanks for listening to Fun Facts Online.